Okay, works. Hi and welcome to another video on my channel. We are here in the jungle during the monsoons and it's raining, lush green and so beautiful out here. So while shooting, I thought of actually making a YouTube video about a very well requested topic. How do you protect your gear during monsoons? Now monsoons are a beautiful season to shoot both in the streets and in the jungle. But the problem that we face these days is the mirrorless cameras that we use, they're not totally waterproof. So the problem is if water seeps inside your camera, then it can actually totally mess up with your sensor, and then of course there's a huge cost to pay and there are chances that your camera might die. So there are a couple of tips that I can share with you guys that I personally use when I am out there shooting in the monsoons in the jungle. The first one, and a very obvious one, is carry only essentials. Now we have a lot of stuff in our kit that we think we might use but we do not use. We have this tendency of carrying everything in the safaris in a huge bag. We kind of put in everything and then we carry it along. The more gear that you carry, the more stuff is there to worry about. So try and take only essential stuff when it's raining. Just maybe normally what I do is if it's raining, I'll carry only my primary gear, which is the Alpha one with the 400, and that too I protect in a cover, which we are soon going to talk about. So make sure that you carry only essential gear and nothing else. Apart from that, what you can do is carry probably one battery, one card in a pouch, which is again waterproof. A lot of pouches are available on Decathlon, so that is something you can invest in. If you're somebody who is in a habit of carrying two bodies like me, you can keep one of your camera bodies and lenses inside your bag, and the second one you can keep it handy so that if something happens, you can quickly take it out and shoot. Then comes the second one, hot shoe cover. Now I know a lot of us have this habit of losing these hot shoe covers, but they are actually very useful. There are these contacts which are there on your hot shoe, and if water falls on them, there are chances that it might damage something or the other inside your camera. So the easiest way out is make sure that you put the hot shoe cover on the hot shoe if you haven't mounted any accessory. Then you can order a lot of those on Amazon so that whenever you want to pull it out, it's available and in your approach. Another very important thing is find out the level of weather sealing in your camera and lens. Weather resistant and weather proof are two different things. So find out what is the level of weather resistance in your camera. You can Google it up, you can find it on the website of the brand or wherever the listing of the camera is. There they do mention it. And one important thing is you have to protect the mount from the water. So if a drop falls on your camera mount, where the lens is mounted on the camera, if a water droplet falls there, high chances are it might seep inside from that particular area. There are tapes, weather resistant tapes that are available in the market. You can probably tape it for the time being and remove that particular tape later. Now this reminds me of another important tip. I've seen people changing their lenses during monsoons. Try and avoid it at all costs. If you're carrying one body and two lenses, make sure that you mount the lens that you are about to use on that body and do not change it. Do not unmount your lens and camera body during the rains, or in fact after the rain has stopped. If there is some kind of moisture in the air, then also. Whenever you unmount, the moisture might enter inside your camera and sit on your sensor, and then it's a major headache because your sensor gets coated with that moisture, and then you'll have to clean your sensor, which I would recommend that you should leave it to the experts. Apart from that, if a water droplet enters on the contact, or maybe just in case if it falls on the sensor, then you have another problem. Then of course carry a lot of rain covers and ponchos. Now these ponchos are available in Decathlon. They're actually very useful. You can simply make sure that you're holding your primary body inside this poncho, or in fact you can put your bag also, the camera bag also inside this poncho, and it's quite protective. It has a hood on, it has these clips there, so it's kind of pretty good to protect yourself as well as your camera body and lenses during the rains. What you can do is get some of these extra ponchos and wrap your bag around these ponchos or wrap your camera around these ponchos. One thing you need to take care of is that the water is not seeping inside from any opening that is there in the poncho. So just double check while wrapping it properly. We have this tendency of covering it from the top and the bottom and keeping it, and the rain keeps falling and there is this little opening from where the water is seeping inside, which is again a problem. So make sure whenever you wrap it, it's tight from all the corners and there's no opening from where the water is seeping inside. Now it's very important to protect the front element of the lens. So what you can do is during the rains or such adverse weather conditions, put a lens filter on that. Whatever water droplets fall, they fall on the lens filter, And whenever you want to shoot, you can either remove the lens filter or just simply clean it. Of course, cleaning the lens, the front element of the lens, involves a little bit of risk wherein you might scratch the front element. That's why it's always better to put a ND filter or any filter which you have, so that even if you have to clean the filter, the front element of your lens is protected. Then there's another very important tip: microfiber cloths. Carry a lot of these. They are actually very useful. There are a lot of towels available in the market, online, Decathlon, which are made of microfiber cloth. And there are these small pieces of cloths also that you can carry. I usually put these dry pieces of cloths in like all the pockets that I have in my camera bag, so that whenever I want it, it's always available in emergency. And the problem is, when you take out your camera from indoors to the outdoors, during the rains, a lot of moisture gets accumulated on the front element of your lens. And then it's a major problem because you have to clean the front element of your lens, and there are chances that you might scratch it. So first thing is, whenever you're coming out of your hotel or wherever you're staying, just make sure that you have a look at the front element. There are no thick dust particles that are sitting there. If there are, then remove them with a brush, and later on just use this cloth and gently rotate it on the front element of the lens and clean it till the time the moisture is gone away from the front element. So these were a few tips which you can actually keep in mind while shooting in the rain. Monsoon time is here, and I'm pretty sure you're going out, doing your safaris and just clicking some beautiful photographs out there. The water droplets and the greenery in the jungle during monsoons is totally breathtaking. And the rain should not stop you from taking your camera outside in the jungle, or let's say in the streets during the monsoons.